All right, welcome back to the Weekend Ticket as we continue our coverage of Pacific sports athletes throughout the world who are doing really great things. We start off and kick off our chat with one of our Pacifica athletes of Samoan heritage based in Australia who has been making waves and headlines over in the world of tennis. You wouldn't think that tennis is one of those big sports that our Pacifica people are getting amongst, but over the past week or so, you would have seen plenty of videos seeing this champion go out there and represent and celebrate in the Australian Open overseas. So, with that being said, we invite Destanee Aiava to introduce herself. Her name. I'll just get you to introduce yourself. Your name, where you're from, and who and what you do.
Hello, I'm Destanee Aiava. I'm from Melbourne, Australia, and I'm a professional tennis player.
Yeah, awesome. And whereabouts you're of Samoan heritage, obviously. So, could you tell us about where you're from in Samoa and what's your background?
So I actually don't really know where in Samoa. All I know is that my father's parents live there. He has gone a couple times for holiday. But yeah, my mum was born in American Samoa.
Oh,
So yeah, there's a little bit of a lot in my family, but yeah, when people ask me where I'm from, I pretty much just am Samoan Australian.
yeah, love to hear that. And obviously, you said you're from Melbourne. Whereabouts in Melbourne are you from, and where'd you grow up?
I'm from Warren in Melbourne. I grew up my whole life in the southeast suburbs. Yeah, I was born in Clayton, lived in Dandenong for a little bit when I was young. So yeah, I'm just pretty much from the hood.
And there are a lot of Pacifica people that live around that area as well.
Yeah, there's quite a bit all over Melbourne, a lot in the west, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I know Hampton Park is a big one as well, which is literally just the suburb over from Warren. Um, but yeah, I didn't really grow up around many Pacifica people. My family's quite small. My extended family's all living in New Zealand as well. So yeah, it was pretty much just the four of us growing up.
Yeah, awesome. And would thank you for sharing that with us. And we'll get straight into it. You recently had some success over the past week in the world of tennis. Could you tell us a bit about your background in tennis, how you got into the sport, and what makes you so passionate about representing in that sport?
So I started playing tennis at 5. My first sport was actually soccer. My parents were the coaches of the team, and yeah, they kicked me off because I wasn't able to share the ball.
Oh, man.
So yeah, I had to pick an individual sport, and I just happened to be watching tennis on the TV. Uh, the Australian Open was actually on and I was watching Serena, so I just said I'll just play that sport. And yeah, I had my first lesson and then ever since then I haven't stopped playing. So yeah, this year would be my 20th year of playing tennis. Um, and yeah, it's been a rough journey since then, but yeah, to come to this point in playing Australian Open and finally winning my first round, and having so much support as well from the Pacific community, it was amazing, and yeah, it was really great to see so many people of color in the stands as well.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And wow, 20 years of playing tennis, and now you're up there winning your first round, like you mentioned at the Australian Open. How special has that journey been? From when you first started to where you are now and winning that game. I know there might have been a lot of emotions or a lot of reflections that you've had. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, from my very first lesson in growing up in tennis, I've not seen anyone that looks like me. Maybe one or two other girls, but that's about it. So I think after my week I had at AO, getting a lot of messages from so many people saying that their kids now want to play tennis
Wow.
because someone else looks like them that was on TV. It's really amazing to see, and I hope that they can, go to their lesson and see a couple other people that or kids that look like them, and have a a better experience than I did growing up, because yeah, representation matters a lot, and it does affect kids' confidence and their will to want to turn up to every lesson that they have. And yeah, tennis I think needs more of that, and I think it's growing a little bit. Yeah, so I'm just glad that my matches could bring some more Islander kids to tennis.
Yeah, definitely. And do you feel like you needed someone like that that looked like you, I guess, or represented who you were when you were getting into tennis and throughout your journey?
Yeah, it would have been nice, but my idols growing up was watching Serena Williams and Venus. So yeah, for me that was, I guess, my kind of representation. Just seeing, really powerful, strong Black women on TV dominating the tennis world. It made a big difference, and I didn't see any other Islander people
Mm.
playing tennis at that time, but yeah, I'm glad that I did idolize Serena. Um, but yeah, I'm just glad that I can, for the new generation coming in, be sort of, I don't know. I don't want to call myself an idol for them, but I'm just glad that they have someone that looks like them to look up to and aspire to be like, that I didn't have growing up. But yeah, for me it was Serena, even though she's not someone.
I'm sure she's got some someone blood in there. You trace it back far enough, but you speak about the many people that have thrown their support at you, especially amongst our Pasifika communities. You've entered a sport and you've succeeded in a sport that not many of our people are amongst that you've highlighted before. But I guess what after the success and after things have unfolded, what are some of those messages that have been have people have sent to you from our Pasifika communities that you really appreciated or really enjoyed?
It's mainly just parents of kids telling me that their kids want to go to their first lesson. Um, and some have already started playing tennis, and some may have felt discouraged and have asked their parents, why does no one look like me, or why am I the only brown kid in the lesson? But yeah, a lot of them have just said that I've given their kids more confidence and inspired some to come back to play as well, just because of my matches. So yeah, it is really heartwarming, and yeah, it's just super nice to see that my matches have made such a big impact in our community. And yeah, I hope to keep going, and if hopefully can inspire more kids to play tennis, especially within our Pacifica community. Yeah, but it's really special.
Yeah, beautiful. And speaking about our Pacific people, obviously when you're on the court, you heard a lot of cheers, a lot of hearing our people. How much power did that give you? Especially competing at that high level, hearing in the crowd the cheer from the community.
Yeah, it was great. I've not heard that ever during a tennis match, but yeah, it was really fun, and I embraced it, and I tried to use it to my advantage, and especially if I was feeling down and out, I just tried to use everyone's energy to my advantage and help get me through the matches. It was definitely different. It usually is quite quiet during a tennis match. Whenever a point finishes. But yeah, I think tennis could definitely use a lot more of those kinds of cheers. But yeah, I think tennis is kind of moving away from the gentleman's sport name. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. Some wouldn't, probably my opponents, but it was really good.
Yeah, can we expect you to rip one out in your next match if you get a win?
No. I've never tried, and I don't think I can do it justice. Yeah, I've seen the TikTok of this lady doing it. Yeah, I don't want to not do it justice. So I'll leave it to everyone
Oh,
else.
all right. That sounds good enough. Well, hopefully, next time we see you out there, would love to see an attempt to do it. Because that'll be nah, that'll be cool. It's cool. I felt like watching those videos. It looked like it gave you all the power and the support and that backing that you need, especially in that arena, because you never see. It's quiet. You sit down, you wait your turn, and you clap. Gentleman sport s like you're talking about, but
Mhm.
it's so beautiful that you are a representation of our Pacifica people. Giving them that opportunity, and I guess giving the world an insight into who we are as a people, how much we can get behind our athletes. So, and saying that, what aspirations do you have, I guess, in the sport of tennis moving forward? You know, you've closed up this competition, but what next? What next for you?
So for me, I really just want to break into the top 100 by the end of the year. So yeah, I've after this, I'm gonna head to Europe, I think, pretty soon, and start the rest of the year. But yeah, the my long-term goals is pretty much to just try break into the top 100 and have a really good year, injury free, have fun on the court, and whatever happens, happens. I'll look back on it and still be really proud of myself. So yeah, I'm just gonna take it week by week. It is a long year ahead, especially in tennis. We don't have time off until the very end. So yeah, I just want to stay as fit and healthy and happy as possible on the court.
Yeah, beautiful. And running out to my last couple of questions for you. Do you have any encouragements to any of our people or any young Pacifica people that are looking to get into the sport? Do you have anything, words of inspiration to them?
I would say not to be discouraged if you don't see any other kids that look like you. You'll always have your parents backing you 100%. And the main thing for me that I wanted to hear growing up was just to have fun. That's honestly the main thing. And as long as you're happy doing what you're doing, um, nothing else matters. It is very lonely once you become older and progress into the professional tour. So yeah, just try and savor the really great moments on court that you have with other kids learning and growing up on the court. So yeah, just try and have fun and enjoy enjoy what tennis has to offer.